Hello, this is CoinPig. So today, the Royal Mint released the 2019 Mintage Figures for the circulating coins, and I brought the page up here. This is the Mintage Figures for all the individual denominations. We've got £2 down to pennies, and what we'll do is we'll go through them and have a look, see what the Mintage Figures were, and we'll start with the £1 and £2 coins, I think. Actually, no, we won't. We'll start with the pennies. We'll start with the pennies. We'll go with those first and work our way up. That'll be the best bet, I think. So I scroll right down to the 2019 pennies, 0. So that was quick and easy. It was expected. Now, I have recently posted about the 2020 penny being found, but that's 2 years with no pennies, 2018 and 2019. So I don't expect them to be too high in 2020, but we're looking at the 2019 figures at the moment, so that is 0. So as you can see, the first year, 1.5 billion plus. Most recently, very few. Oops, I think, where was it? In 2015, that's right. In 2015, they had the 2 portraits. So that was the last interesting year, if you like. But even then, the figures were pretty high, 154 million plus and 400 million plus. So, yeah, the last 2 years, 18 and 19, they're obviously in 2020 now, but 18 and 19 are definitely collectible pennies for the future. But I'm not sure that they're in that much demand. So, 2p's. Let's have a look at those. Again, 0. So they go with the same issue, I think, with the 2019s. 2017s, there was only 16.6 million, or I call it 17 million because it's an easy number to remember. 17 for 17, if you know, if you notice. But it's not quite 17. But yeah, last 2 years, 0. No new pennies, unfortunately. So, what am I doing? 5p's. Now there were 5p's, although I don't know that I've seen any 5p's yet. There were 92,800,000 apparently from 2019 issued, but I'm pretty certain I haven't found any 2019s in, well, certainly in change. But I'll have to check that because I can't remember, to be honest. It's not something, 5p's, not really something I take that much notice about. But yeah, definitely down on what they normally produce. 220 in 2017 and 305 plus million in 2016. Quite a lot in 2015 again with the 2 portraits. So yeah, a lot less than normal, but more than in 2018. And yeah, not even quite 100 million in the first year in 1968. Now, I'll leave 10p's for a moment. Let's do 20p's first. There we are. There's the 2019 figure, 125,125,000, which is odd. They should repeat the same. Anyway, it's the first time for 2 years, or 3 years, if you like, that they've had a 20p in circulation. Now, I have found 2019 20p's, so they're definitely out there. And it's not too dissimilar from 2015, 131 million there in the 5th portrait, the Jodie Clark portrait. But they did have the 4th portrait as well, another 60 odd million there. And they had definitely been less in other years. There we are. See, there's 2013 to 66 million. But the fact that there hasn't been any for 2 years, obviously in 2019 they decided that they'd increase the number slightly. Not sure what's going to happen going forward now, but I don't know that there are any in 2020. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't seen any, but that's not to say there aren't any. So that's 20p's. Oops. What's going on? All right. I'll leave 50p's for a moment. Let's do the £2 because they're quite easy to deal with. They've already said that they're not going to issue any £2 for perhaps 10 years. Now, I'm not sure if that was 10 years from when they announced it last year or from 10 years when they stopped producing them in 2017. But in either case, it's going to be many years before they issue any £2 coins, by the looks of it, unfortunately, into circulation, if they ever do again. My suspicion is they will never issue a £2 coin into circulation again, unfortunately, which is a shame because up until 2016 they were issuing quite a lot of commemoratives, and of course we've only just seen some of the Shakespeare's coins going into circulation in 2020 that were produced in 2016. So that gives you an idea of how few are required. I don't know if the inflation takes off and we have some sort of financial crisis. Who knows what will happen? We hope that doesn't happen, but you never know. So that was £0. Pound coins. Now, obviously, these are fairly new coins. We had the old round pounds, and there was quite a few different designs. We still haven't had any indication that there's going to ever be a commemorative pound coin again. I'm not sure why that is, but anyway, in 2019, and we've had pound coins released in every year so far from issue in 2016. Well, technically it was in 2017, but they were produced in 2016 as well. So 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. In fact, 2019 they were increased slightly on the 2018 figure, only by about 8 million, but it's still over 138 million in 2019. Not that important, really, for collectors when you get over 100 million, unless there's some oddities or whatever. So I want to go back, have a look as well at the coin specifications. Well, at least I will do if I can get there. And what I'm going to do is go to the 50p coin, because obviously that's the one that seems to be most collected in the UK, the £0.5 coin, if you like, and it gives you the information on the Royal Mint website to say these are the designs and so on. It gives you all the information about the individual designs, and we come through to 2019, and if you noticed in 2019 there were a lot of coins issued, and for some reason the Royal Mint have changed what they do with this information, because they don't, up until a couple of years ago, they didn't put the non-circulated coins in this section on their website, but apparently they do now. Anyway, obviously we did have the Gruffalo, the Stephen Hawking coin, the Peter Rabbit coin, and a few others. There's the Gruffalo, the Wallace and Gromit coin, the Snowman. These are all coins that were released in 2019. Those weren't put into circulation, however. 50 years of the 50 pence, that wasn't in circulation. But these three were. That's the Sherlock Holmes, Paddington at the Tower, and Paddington at St Paul's. And of course there was the default, if you like, the where is it? I haven't even got it. No, they didn't even put it in here, weirdly. But the they must have. Oh, perhaps they didn't put it in because it's the same design as previous year. So, I must have gone past it. I must have gone past it. Where did I think it was at the top, wasn't it? Yeah, there we are. So there we are. There's the information about the Royal Arms, the Matthew Dent design. A lot of people aren't that happy with that particular design. I don't know why. Possibly because it's only part of a design on one coin. I don't know. But yeah, I mean the idea was good, but I don't think the practical implication is very well practical. A lot of people don't obviously put all the coins laid out in the right arrangement to get the full effect. Or perhaps they don't even know that. Anyway, that's the 50p's. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the Mintage Figures and see what one. There's the three commemoratives, right, that came out in 2019. So we'll have a look, see what one came out on top in. You can see all of these previous years' designs and Mintage Figures, and we got to 2019. So which one do you reckon is going to come out on top? There was a bit of a contest, should we say, between the Paddingtons and, of course, the Sherlock. Now, I was going to, I think I already had said that I think Sherlock's would be about 3.5 million, 3.4, 3.6, something like that, million. I think I varied it depending on what mood I was in, but around about that 3.5 million mark. The Paddingtons, I said, would be 5 million plus. Well, this is what happened. Sherlock, 8.6 million, just over. Paddington, both designs, same number, 9 million and 1,000. Now, I'm not sure why they suddenly do this recently, but I've noticed with the Paddington at the Palace in 2018, they had 5.9 million. I expected it to be about the same sort of figure, 5 to 6 million-ish, I think. But that was slightly higher, should we say, than I expected. And the Sherlock Holmes was surprisingly high, because in terms of number of finds, the Sherlock Holmes is way lower than the Paddington designs, particularly the Paddington at the Cathedral recently. But I did find a lot more Paddingtons at the Tower when they first came out than I do now. So obviously, time has an effect on these, in terms of how often you find them. Sherlock Holmes, 8.6 million though. That's way higher, as I said, than I was expecting. And the shields, well, we all knew that they were going to be high, but I'm quite astonished that they're even as high as they are, because it's 122 million. I was expecting maybe 75, 80 million, but that's 50% more than that. So, yeah, way more than I anticipated on all of those, really. Now, there's one denomination I haven't looked at, and this is probably the story of the Mintage Figures, the 10p coins. Now, in 2018, they released the A to Z collection from the Royal Mint, and they promoted it, and the Treasury then turned around and said, well, you can't produce as many as you're going to reproduce, because we don't need that many. So in the end, they produced way smaller numbers than they anticipated. So let's have a look, see what they produced this time round. Now, the initial estimate was it was 2.1 million. So that's considerably lower than the figure in 2018, which was almost 5.7 million, I think. So there's the figures, the early figures. Let's scroll right down to 2018, and we'll see. There we are. 2018, the 10p's, there was no definitive 10p's released in 2018. They were all the A to Z's, and they all had the same figure, 220,000. A's right across the spectrum, right to Z. However, in 2019, as I said, they only announced 2.1 million. And if 2.1 million is your guide, that would be just under 81,000 per coin, which is what the figure I've been quoting for, well, ever since basically 2019, since we knew about it. And so what did they actually release? There we are. 10p's, nothing. The definitive A to Z's, 84,000. Now, don't get excited, because I was wrong. I was 3,000 out, because that isn't the entire story. 84,000, A, B, C, D, and so on, down to, let's get there, Q. Q only had 83,000. 1,000 less. I know it's not a massive amount in difference, but that's 1,000 less. Oh, why have they done that? Then we look down further. R, 64,000. And it goes back up to 84,000 for S. So Robin, R, 64,000. The lowest mintage figure of any circulating coin. Except, it's not. We've got 84,000 for these. Oh, and then W, 63,000. The lowest ever figure for a circulating coin. X, 84,000 again. And Z, Y, I don't know my alphabet. Y, 63,000 again. Z, 63,000 again. So we've now got a situation where we've got 3 coins with the lowest figure of any circulated coin. W, Y, and Z. The Great British Coin Hunt. And they have, I don't know why they've chosen to do it this way, but they have created a situation where the Royal Mint now have produced 3 coins with under 65,000, 4 coins with under 65,000 coins. You've got the R at 64,000 and the W, Y, and Z at 63,000 coins. That was updated today, just to make sure that you're aware. So 63,000 coins is all that's in circulation of the W's, the Y's and the Z's. Those are the lowest ever circulated coins in the UK in terms of decimal coins. I haven't gone back any further than that. All of the A to Z's are under 85,000, in fact 84,000 or less. And the total, if you add all of those up, is exactly what they said that it was going to be. 2.1 million. 2,100,000. So they did some calculations, they worked it out, and they came up with the correct figure. Now, if you average those out, obviously it's just under 81,000. So, yeah, I mean, they couldn't have been more accurate. So that means that I suspect the figures that they've already given for the 2020 coins will be very similar to the actual figure that they show when the mintage figures for those come out as well. But this is the story. This is the shocking truth, if you like, of the mintage figures for the 2019 A to Z 10p's. And with that, I thank you very much for tuning in and watching, and hopefully you've got some 10p's from 2019 in your collection. If you haven't, the prices are probably going to go up now. I mean, I knew they would, but unfortunately I couldn't get all of them from circulation because there's only 63,000 of some of them. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for more. Keep collecting.